Hey guys, welcome back. Mr. Zern here. Today we are talking about Modulo, but Modulo in Python. So remember, we did it previously in App Inventor with the price per slice app. And here in Python, we're going to be using that function again. So again, just to remind you, a modulo is a mathematical operator that performs division but returns the remainder. So instead of giving us some kind of weird decimal point thing, it's just going to simply tell us what the remainder is, and we'll take a look at that here in a second. And so just kind of remind you, you can see in the bottom left, what that puzzle piece from App Inventor looked like, and then on the right, we can see that kind of something very similar there. We can see modulo in action, but in Python. Okay, so modulo of blank divided by blank. Here we can see basically that percent, excuse me, the percent sign is sort of signifying that, hey, do this modulo mathematical equation for me. So let's take a look here. All right, so just to kind of remind you from the price per slice app, if we had 10 divided by 8, so what is the modulo there? So we know that 8 goes into 10 one time, and a lot of people would be like, well, if I asked them to do that, or they kind of saw something like that, they would say, all right, well, 10 divided by 8 is 1.25, and so that's not the modulo. The modulo is basically the remainder. So you can kind of think of it, all right, I'm at 8, and how many more do I need to go to get to 10? You can't see me counting my fingers here, but 9 and 10, so 2, right? The modulo is 2, and so you can't just plug it into a calculator and think that the decimal is what the answer is there. It's basically how many more, what is the remainder to kind of get to that full amount. All right, so with that in mind, let's take a look at this. So here's some, I've got like a little conditional statement. I don't have it, obviously we'd get an error message because it's not doing anything, but let's just take a look here at this if statement. So number is the variable name here. So if number is a multiple of 4, like how would I code that here, to figure that out? So for example, like, what would I put in there? So let me take a moment and think about that. Pause the video if you need to. So let's just say number is 3. 3, when we get that percent sign, is a multiple of 4. And, ultimately, if I'm looking for it to be a multiple of 4, it should be equal to 0. So is 3 divided by 4, have a 0 remainder? No, it's 1 short. If the variable is 4, so hey, 4 divided by 4, well, that goes into it one time, right? Is there a remainder? No, if you did it on a calculator, it'd be like 1.0. So anytime we get that 0.0, that 0 remainder, that would sort of trigger the, hey, yes, this number is a multiple of that. Let's try, for example, 7. So if the variable is 7 divided by 4, does that equal 0? No, it does not. It's 1 short. What about if number was 8? So 8 divided by 8, well, yeah, that goes into it 2 times evenly with no remainder, 0 remainder. All right, what if the number had a multiple? What if I was looking for a multiple of 10? So what would that look like? So again, we'd have if number percent sign 10 equals 0. So think about that. What about 10? So if 10 divided by 10, well, that goes into it one time, and does that have a remainder of 0? It sure does. What about 11? 11 divided by 10? No, it doesn't. It goes into it once with a remainder of 1. What about 19? If the variable was 19 divided by 10, is that a multiple of 10? No, it's not. 10 goes into 19 one time with a basically that remainder of 9 in there. So that's not going to work. So, kind of when we'll be doing this activity, think of like, what number is the multiple of? And so if, basically if you divide it by itself and it has no remainder, then that's what we're looking at there. And so there's an example of 4 and 10. All right. I'll talk to you guys later.